in the Murray Byrne Halesland garden. Just want to talk to you today about sowing some seeds like carrots, beetroots, parsnips and spring onions, which are a little bit on the fine side, so require a bit of work. So the first thing we need to do obviously is prep the soil. Now I'd split this job into two different sessions. What you want to do first is prep the soil, and then in the second session a few days later come back and sow the seeds. So prepping the soil, all we want to do first is just get rid of all of these weeds that have appeared over the winter. Okay, so I'm just going to take a trowel or a fork and just dig these out. Now a lot of these things are going to have quite long tap roots. If you think about carrots and particularly parsnips, are going to go a long way down into the ground, so we really want to make sure that we loosen up the soil to quite a depth. But what we don't want to do is turn the soil over. So I'm just going to push the fork in, break the soil up. So once we've loosened the soil with the fork, we want to take our rake and just get rid of any sort of like big rocks, bits of glass, and then we're going to work the soil just the top sort of like couple of inches, pushing and pulling, and preferably in different directions. And the aim is that we get a good sort of like 2 inches on the top that's well broken down. This is what's known as a fine tilth. So we want to aim for that fine tilth. Okay, so here is a bed that I prepared earlier, and we've got the fine tilth that we're looking for. Here, by the way, is Carol. Is one of our great volunteers at Murray Byrne Halesland. So we are going to grow carrots, parsnips and spring onions. The reason we're going to grow these together is that both carrots and parsnips suffer from carrot root fly, and hopefully the onions will deter the carrot root flies from attacking them. So we'll put the spring onions in the two outside lines and carrots and parsnips in the middle. So I'm going to give Carol the carrots. We want to sow them about 1.5 centimetres deep, or ½ inch deep, and about 2 centimetres between each seed. So we're just going to sprinkle them along the line.
They're very small seeds, by the way.
It's good to do this with dry hands and no gloves. Okay, so these are the parsnip seeds. We're going to sow these slightly differently at the same depth of about 1.5 centimetres or ½ inch. But we're going to sow 3 together and then leave a space of about 5 inches, 12 centimetres. Put another 3 in, along 5 inches again, 12 centimetres. So we'll just go along like that, putting 3 in. If you imagine when the parsnips grow up, they're going to grow out to be quite a big size, so that's why we need the spacing in between. Okay, and finally we're going to do our spring onions. We're sowing these along the outside at the same depth, about 1.5 centimetres, ½ inch. We'll just sprinkle these all the way along the lines, and these should act as a deterrent.
Is that because of the smell?
It is, yeah.
It's a strong smell.
It's the smell of the onions, which hopefully will keep away the root fly from the carrots and the parsnips. So let's get these.
Aye, now we're labelling what we've just sown into the ground. So it's the crop. I'm going to be doing the parsnip, the date, and
Variety.
the variety. I'm just going to stick that at the end with the other ones, so we know when and what it is. And that's that. So next move is, Steve?
So next we just need to cover over the lines and just firm it down a little bit. Okay. Still filming. Oh, so now we're just going to cover over the lines, and we want to make sure we get good contact between the seed and the soil, so we're just going to gently firm it down. And the last thing to do, especially on a beautiful day like today, is to water the lines in. This again will help with getting the soil and seed into contact, but also of course just helping the seeds germinate. Now we're going to have quite a long wait for this. We should see the onions germinating first, but the parsnips and the carrots could take up to 3 weeks to germinate. So there's a lot of making sure that the soil doesn't dry out. When we have spells like this where it's really dry, we really need to be out watering probably every other day.
Voila!
Have I got a good side?